Hey y'all, it's Kynzi, and you're listening to Who's Hot Exclusive, brought to you by 24/7 LC.
I know you went to see your ex the other night. You're scared to lose me, so you keep on telling lies. I'm scared to face you, so I keep on getting high. I run and hide because I don't like the way I feel when I don't have my pride. I keep it on me, I never put it aside, yeah. And I guess all my love was never enough, 'cause you're still gone. And I'm addicted to the things I used to cloud my memories. Want you here, hope and pray that you ain't falling out of love with me. Way back here, way back here, yeah. I'm not making excuses, I just want you here.
What's good, family? This is Adonis Armstrong. We back with another episode of Who's Hot Exclusive, and I'm here with the lovely Kynzi.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Guys, she has some dope music. You should definitely check it out. Got a couple quick questions for you, Kynzi.
Okay.
What made you want to be an artist, like an R&B soul artist?
Well, I like to classify myself as R&B pop, but
Okay.
I'm very lazy by nature, like very much a couch potato. I love napping, I love sleeping, I love being in the bed, I love doing absolutely nothing. And music is one of the only things that will get me to get out of my bed with no complaint. And so I just knew instinctively it was something I was passionate about. It was something that moved me, and it was something that motivated me. And I discovered this when I was about 16 or 17 years old, and I entered a talent show, and I took that talent show so serious. Like, you would think I was on X Factor or American Idol or something, but I put everything I had as a 17-year-old into that one performance. And ever since, I've been giving music everything I got.
Like how you said, I like how you said, giving everything you had in the talent show. People don't understand you have to give your all within everything you do. What are some sacrifices that you had to make to turn your dream into reality?
I like to think that there is minimal friction, minimal sacrifice, minimal hardship when it comes to something you're passionate about. Everybody has their obstacles, but for me, this has been the most seamless pursuit that I've ever known. I didn't have to sacrifice anything except for fear and doubt and laziness. That was really it. That's what I had to exchange in order to receive what I have as it relates to my career. It's always just kind of worked out for me. I don't know how. I guess I'm just blessed and favored, but it's just been really easy. It's easy.
I mean, you putting in the work, you doing it. So people put in the work and do it. Stop being lazy.
Yeah, also, I mean, as of late, and because I'm getting older and I'm growing, I'm expanding, and everything is becoming a little bit more intricate, I am having to make financial sacrifices because I won't lie, I am very kept. And I like to spend my money on food, on my nails, on hair, on vibes and experiences. And sometimes that has to take a back seat, and you do have to plan, especially when you're an independent artist and there is no budget. You are financing your career. And so you do have to be mindful of where your money is going and how much of it. I will say that as I'm getting older and learning more about the industry, I definitely had to sacrifice all the things that I like to spend so frivolously on so that I can make sure I have what I need in order to fund my career.
Okay. Speaking of, working on your music.
Yeah.
The creative process, is it something that you do strictly in the studio, or you just be out and about and something just clicks in your head? Like, how is the process of you making music?
It varies. I do both. Sometimes I'll hear something in the studio and a song will come to me immediately. Sometimes I go a long time without writing. I know it's encouraged that you write every day, but I hate to feel like I'm forcing it. And so I'll be in the middle of the grocery store and something to come to me, and I'll just type it into my notes. And once I feel like I have enough, I'll book a session. I don't like working in sessions because they cost money. So I like to come to the session ready to go, ready to record, ready to get the music done. I don't like sitting in the session like, oh, punch me back. Oh, I think I'm gonna say this. Well, let me hit, like, I don't like that. I like to get in and get out.
Okay.
Maximize the time.
I see you just dropped a new single called Here, which is pretty dope. What came the process of making that song? I mean, it's a fire track. It's a dope song.
Well, my latest record is actually called Sure.
Oh, Sure. I'm tripping. It is Sure.
It's okay. It's
but
okay.
I do like Here and Dizzy.
Yes, and that's one of my favorites. Yes. So Sure, we wrote Sure over a year ago, I want to say. I did have a co-writer on that record. He goes by Raymar. And Raymar is also my creative director, and he filmed the visuals for here in Dizzy. So he wears a lot of hats and he's very helpful. But originally I didn't like that production. I didn't really care for the beat. It was something I listened through from one of my producers, and I was like, next. And Raymar was like, no, send it to me. Send it to me. I want to try something. And Raymar sent me this hook, and it was like, thinking too much. And he made this groove, and I don't know. I just loved his cadence. I loved the words, and I loved his melody. And that inspired me to write a verse. And that's how the song was born. But originally, that song was never going to exist if it was up to me. And so if he wasn't in my life, that song would never have happened. But we worked really well together, and we bounce ideas off each other daily. So the song was born in a matter of days. And then we got to the studio and cut it, and we were obsessed. And even after we cut it, I still had some reservations about it because of the song's tempo. It originally was a little bit slower and had a moderate pace. And I felt like the song was coasting. It was almost boring. And so I had them speed it up about like maybe 5 BPMs. And that was it. I was obsessed. We thought it was a song of the summer. And he was like, let's just get it out there. And so, yeah, that's how that happened.
Okay. Speaking of songs, from your catalog, what's, if someone asks you today, what song to go listen to get the, I would say, just an overall version of yourself, like best overall version of yourself, which song would you direct them to?
I think the best audio representation of who I am as an artist is definitely in here, because I feel like it is, it coasts between genres of R&B, kind of like pop, and that's where I want to stay. I never wanted to be too R&B. It's just I was corralled into that when I first started, because I didn't know who I was or what I wanted to do, and so they gave me that. But the longer I was making music, the more I realized I could experiment, and that was okay. And I feel like here was the very first time that I felt extremely free and limitless as an artist. That's one of the first songs I wrote completely alone and recorded completely alone. And yeah, I'm really proud of that one. I think my vocals, the backings, the production, it's all very Kynzi.
It is. It is. Where do you see yourself and your music in 10 years?
Oof, how old am I? I guess I'll be in. I'm gonna have some albums out, and I'm gonna be in toured a couple of places, maybe some awards, if not nominations. And I didn't. Some of my dream collaborations have finally come to life. And yeah, I try not to think too much about the future. It's extremely daunting. I'm one of those fear of the unknown type of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully I'm prospering. My music is prospering, and I have a really close-knit community and fan base. And I'm just doing what I love always.
Okay. Speaking on collaborations, can you elaborate on a little bit of them?
Oof. I know for a fact that I would love to work with James Fauntleroy. I know for a fact I would love to work with Black over at Love Renaissance. I would love to work with Lucky Day, Victoria Monet. I would love to work with Jermaine Dupri and Brian Michael Cox. And I think I really have always wanted to work with Division as well. I would love to cut a record with Division.
Oh yeah, that would be.
I like male artists. I like a lot of male artists. There's something about men's voices that do it for me. I listen to a lot more men than women.
Yeah, most people think I listen to more hip hop, but I'm more like a R&B. So, because I grew up with my mom, so I grew up on heavy, strictly R&B. I mean, she listened to the hip hop stuff, but I remember getting dropped off at school. It was the slow jams playing, and slow jams, it actually settles you down. If you feel too down, it mellows you out. I think more people need to listen to it.
Absolutely. When it comes to the males, I definitely do listen to more of their upbeat records. When I want to settle down and relax, I do listen to women. I feel like women are extremely alluring and calming. I love women's voices. But on the day-to-day, I don't know what it is. When I was in high school, I went to the Detroit School of Arts, and we had these choruses. We had an all-male choir. I loved hearing the all-male choir sing. I don't know what it was, but it was just the way their voices blended. Like from then on, I have just always loved the sound of like men's voices. It's just so warm and deep and comforting. I don't know. They just do it for me.
Okay. Is there any game that you can give to up and coming aspiring artists who are looking to break into the music industry, like the grind, what it takes?
I always say, People might crucify me for this, but I don't believe in grinding. I don't believe in hustling. I believe in relaxing. I believe you cannot create from a place of desperation. You know what I'm saying? You have to be calm. I think creativity is spiritual and you have to be grounded for that. And you couldn't possibly be grounded if you're worrying about what to do, when you're gonna do it, and how you're gonna do it. Just do it. Focus on what you can accomplish seamlessly and easily without restriction, because I feel like people forget that what's for you is for you. You only gonna have so many hurdles, and you never gonna have a hurdle that you can't get over. So you never have to stress, you never have to force, you never have to work out of a place of desperation. So I would say do what you want to do it when you want to do it, and how you want to do it. I work with peace. I believe in peace and relaxation. So I would say don't overexert yourself. You don't have to work that hard for God's blessings that He sent here for you specifically. They're already yours. And then I would also say, I would say be resourceful. I would say be resourceful. I would say trust yourself and understand that you don't need anybody to get this done. God sent you here with everything you needed. Everybody you need is going to find you. You know, you don't have to be performative. You don't have to audition for anybody. You don't have to convince anybody of who you are and what you're capable of. The people who are for you, when they meet you, they're going to know. You know what I'm saying? That's something I struggle with. Like, I used to feel like I had to convince all these executives and all of these producers and all of these A&Rs of who I was. And it's like, I know. And if I'm sure of it, that means I don't need them, because I know where I'm headed regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just would say, keep that in mind. You got it all. You have everything you need always. You just have to find it.
I think we live in a society, people always want to feel accepted or
validation.
The validation of what other people are doing and stop being themselves. So they end up being depressed because they're not getting the same gain that the other people are doing.
Oh yeah,
Trying
I fell
to
into that.
get on.
Yeah.
So I feel a lot of people don't understand just being yourself is major, because you're different from everybody else, and everybody has to be different in this world.
Yeah.
There's no two people the same unless you're a twin and
Yeah.
you're still different.
And that energy just further offsets you from what it is you're trying to accomplish. You cannot be worried about what somebody else is doing and how fast it's happening for them, because when you focus on that, there's no way you focus on what God wants you to do. And until you do what He wants you to do, He's not going to give you what you asking Him for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely would just say, do you, focus on you, and do it peacefully. Like, trust yourself, take care of yourself. Don't let nobody force you into this mindset where you gotta make it, and you just gotta do everything. Like, just do you. Do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. You can never regret that.
Okay. Do you have any more up and coming music dropping this summer, the fall, or anything?
I do have one record I want to drop in the fall. I don't know. I'm trying to see what Shore is doing. We're still learning strategy, because me and my team, we're still very young as it relates to working together. Like, it's still very new for us, and this is only our second release together. So we're still troubleshooting. There's still some trial and error going on. So I'm trying to see how Shore does and how our little marketing strategies pan out. And then depending upon that, and depending on how demanding my fans are, because they're very greedy, then I might drop something in the fall.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once you drop one, you got to drop more, because people,
they be so mad at me. They be so mad at me because a year went by between my last. Actually, it's been a year again, because I dropped Here in Dizzy in March of 2022, and I just dropped this one now. But yeah, a lot of time goes by in between my releases, and I'm trying to get better at that. But again, I don't force myself. I don't rush. You know, I create, and I'm at peace with the decisions I make. And so if I don't feel like it's time for that song to come out, it's not coming out. And ain't no amount of consistency threads on Twitter and quantity over quality and all that. I don't care about none of that. I'm going to drop when I feel ready to drop.
Speaking of quantity, I know most of your projects is either one or two songs. Have you thought about making an EP, like a true EP?
Absolutely. And I'm trying to divorce perfectionism, because it's going to be my first project. And I feel like most artists who have been making music for as long as I have would have had a project out by now, or at least two. And so because I'm late to my own party, you know, I'm trying to make sure it's the right project and it's worth the wait. But it's definitely in the works. It's been in the works for a long time. And I'm also learning that as I create, I'm creating several projects at once. Like, I'll be thinking about this current project here, but then I made this record and I feel like it don't fit, but it's a great record and it needs to go somewhere else. And so right now I'm just distributing everything I make amongst 3 different projects in my head. It's a lot. It's a process.
I mean, you working. I think
Yeah, always.
in the 90s, Tupac was the same way. He was dropping EPs, put them on different projects, and that's what you're doing as well.
Yeah.
Congratulations to that. Is it anything like important you want to tell the fans from 24/7, your fans, that they don't know about you? Anything. It could be anything.
Um, I don't know. I like to think I'm pretty out there, but what I do want to say to my fans is that I love them dearly. They mean absolutely everything to me, especially because this past year or so, I've experienced some really low lows, like true valleys. And the only thing that gets me through, or the only thing that keeps me giving up, is I feel like I'm indebted to them for how far they've gotten me. I've never been signed, I've never had any major label support, but people meet me and come across my content and my just my product in general, and they're like, wow, I thought you were signed, or wow, you're not signed yet, or wow, I would love to work with you. And people have no idea on the outside looking in that I'm just a kid. Me and my team, we're just kids. We're all in our early 20s, and we're just having fun. We're just figuring this shit out by ourselves, and it's four of us doing the jobs of, we're at a label, it'll be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people trying to do the same thing. So I'm just grateful for them because they carry us. Without them, I wouldn't have anything. Without their support, without them streaming the records, without them buying the tickets, without them vouching for me, without them promoting me, without me even asking them, I wouldn't have anything. I think that I have a very special case, especially given how sporadically I release my music, and I'm still able to remain relevant. I'm still able to maintain my momentum when I feel like it because of them. They carry me. So I love them. I appreciate them. I'll never take them for granted, and I always keep them in mind. Always.
I just want to give a shout out to your team, because without a team, things
Man.
won't get done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially as an independent artist, such as yourself and me as well.
Yeah.
When you're independent, like, you really have to work on the craft, because like you said, behind a record label is 8 or 9 people in each section. It's somebody from marketing,
Absolutely.
someone from publishing, et cetera, et
Yeah.
cetera. People
And
don't
just I
understand the
don't
grind.
believe in hustle and grind. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've had to get some shit out the mud. Like, absolutely. But it's not my favorite, and I don't like to preach that because I don't believe it should always be that hard.
Mhm.
And my team, we work really hard to create the things that we create and to execute the plans that we have. And so absolutely I want to shout them out. Jade is my manager. Raymar, my creative director slash A&R slash image consultant slash basically everything else. And then Majesty, who is my image consultant, my wardrobe designer. She literally makes everything I wear on stage and in visuals. It's just us. It's just us making it happen. And I think we're doing a really good job.
Congratulations to the team. Speaking of, like you said, on tour, what have you been outside of the city on tour? Outside of the city?
No, I have never performed outside of Michigan, actually. Unless you want to count some open mics and some karaoke. No. The opportunities have been presented, but it's just I'm very particular on where I decide to invest in my career. And people like to use that word like, oh, invest in your own plane ticket and lodging and come perform at my show. And it's like I'm only so willing to do things like that. I'm very particular, very picky, and yeah, I just haven't found the right investment yet. I'm unwilling to pay my way because I know what I do for people. I know what I can do for a crowd. I know how a crowd is going to leave feeling like after they see me perform, and I don't feel like that's free. I've never felt like that was free.
Okay, outside of Detroit, what's one place you would love to perform?
LA,
LA?
and I would love to do Toronto, London,
Oh yeah,
and Atlanta. I spent a lot of time in Atlanta.
yeah, them are some dope spots.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure to having you today. Don't want to take too much of your time. This is not exclusive. Kynzi, she's a star. Go listen. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
She
I
has
appreciate your time. Thank
nice,
you.
yeah, nice sound. But yeah, that's it. Well, we out.
When you hold me, feels like I'm floating. Please don't let me fall. Wanting your love, craving your touch. I would risk it all. Cause you got me going crazy like a roller coaster. Up and down and all around too. Got me flowing like a river, can't control. control it. Need you, want you, gotta have you. Baby, I'm getting dizzy, and my heart is reeling. Tell me, are you trying to kill me? Baby, I'm getting dizzy, I just can't keep up, no. When you hold me, feels like I'm floating. Please don't let me fall.